Shalom, this is Abik back with some more content. I want to thank all my subscribers, all 145 subscribers. I see that my followers have grown. I want to thank my 105th subscriber as well as my 144th and 143rd. This channel is growing. I wish all my subscribers are in high health and safe and taking the proper precautions against these agendas that are waged against us behind enemy lines here in America. Okay. So much going on surrounding this selection called an election, right? I guess the Eastern Indian woman, Kamala, won the popular vote, but the electoral vote was Donald Duck's, right? Now, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't vote. It's a sin to vote. I don't vote, okay? So this is just commentary about the recent events. And my message is for the so-called black man, Latino man, and Native Indian man to save themselves from the Western woman. She's unlawful. And this election displayed the playbook. Let me go there real quick. I hope you men paid attention to the playbook of the Western woman. She showed her playbook. During this 2024 selection of a presidential candidate. The so-called black woman showed her playbook, and if you Western men have not caught on to what the Western unlawful woman's playbook is, she just exposed her playbook. Shout out to the Blackout Channel and Accountability Commentary and, GMS, the Israelites, the camps, as well as Destro, these podcasters and content creators pretty much put these so-called black women on display for their playbook, okay? The playbook. Kamala ran a 304 campaign. She invited hoes, 304s, and I don't know if she has children of her own, but she was basically pushing a 304 campaign. Her campaign basically benefited the unlawful Western woman who wants to go about with no sexual accountability and basically have a license to delete children as if having an abortion is birth control, right? I mentioned before that the Western woman, not only does she want to go unchecked with her sexuality, but she also wants to use abortions as birth control, right? Celibacy is not a solution to the Western woman because she's promiscuous and she wants to go unchecked, right? Sexually, right? And the Most High has her sexuality in check. Body count matters. And for the most part, good men, Salaki, give me 1 second. Good men do not desire unlawful women. The Western woman, she believes that she's the prize when it comes to a relationship, but she's basically a woman that doesn't submit to the structure and the leadership of a man. So these are your feminists and your agents of feminism. So, there's a larger group of Western women that are undesirable. And let's not forget that these women lead in STDs over here in the West, whether it's herpes, HIV. Those are the gifts that keep on giving. These STDs don't go away. Okay, and Kamala Harris campaign again. It was a 304 campaign. I think she had Cardi B up there who said she was divorcing her husband while she was pregnant, and she also has sex with another man while she was pregnant. Okay, so Western culture is trash. White supremacy is trash. Western women are trash because they are subscribers to the culture and the values of so-called white supremacy. Would I ever vote for a female? No. Would I ever vote, period? No. Would I vote for a so-called white man? No. Women are not leaders of anything. I will never vote for a woman to be a leader of anything. I am not voting for women, okay? That is not a good idea, and women are not leaders of anything. They can't even lead their own households correctly. Okay, so I would never vote for anybody. And my thing is this: the so-called black woman had the ears of the politicians, and she was not demanding reparations be cut for the black family. So she's out for self. Okay, the so-called black woman is just like those feminist black women who came out of the 60s who was on board with Madam C.J. Walker for hair products and skin lighteners. Okay, so the so-called black woman, she's the enemy of the state. Okay, I mentioned that before. The so-called Western, so-called black woman is an enemy of the state. Okay, she's out for self. Look, I got some clips to show of these so-called unlawful black women that are upset because so-called black men didn't vote for an Eastern Indian woman or a woman, period. And good job to the men, you know what I'm saying? Let's give the men a round of applause for either not voting or just not voting for a woman. Now, me personally, I'd rather see Donald Duck in office. I would never want to see a woman in office. I don't care if it's a funky white woman or a funky black woman or a funky Eastern Indian woman. I don't want to see none of them. Okay, and the so-called white man, he's going to do a pretty good job as far as not letting a woman run the country. Okay, because this is a so-called white man's rulership, not a so-called white woman's rulership. So this is 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And these unlawful unbelievers, which I'm referring to the so-called black, Latino, and Native Indian man and woman who did vote for one of these lesser devils, right? Because neither one of them are good for anybody, so-called black, Latino, Native Indian. I think Kamala was locking up so-called black men, and I believe that the so-called black woman only voted for Kamala because Kamala's agendas were against the men. So again, I made a point in my previous videos that the number one enemy to the so-called black man is white supremacy, of course, and then right behind that, coming in close behind the white man fighting for number 2 position against the so-called white woman is the so-called black woman. So I would say the so-called black woman is a number 2 threat to the so-called black man. She's the first threat when it comes to the destruction of the black family, but we all know that white supremacy controls the laws, write laws, and upholds the agencies that give these women the opportunity to receive benefits. And then again, when we talk about the benefits and how historically the narrative was that the so-called black man left his family and ran away from his responsibilities as a father and left the households, when that's not true, when the benefits of the agencies and welfare in Section 8 cater to the woman and the child. So the woman and the child is the woman is the one, especially the main person that is allowing politicians and government to only benefit her and the child. So, watching the so-called black woman's playbook, how she's out for self and liberation, sexual liberation, and no accountability, right? The so-called black women didn't even argue that they wanted reparations when they had the politicians' ear. The politicians want the woman's vote. And this is why it's a good idea for women not to be able to vote, because the families will vote for who the father's voting for. They would stand behind the father's vote or the husband's vote, right? So that's why it's like, is it a good thing to watch women divide households and to run from situations with men and children and family? No. So I don't vote for individuality. I vote for unity, family, okay, structure, sovereignty, okay, nation, okay. That's what I vote for. All right. Brotherhood, which is keeping the law. The law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible is the brotherhood. Okay, the so-called black girl magic sisterhood is trash. That's nothing but a subsect of feminism, right? It's just a black version of white feminism, right? So I thought it was interesting to see the playbook be exposed by the so-called black woman, because it's true what so-called black men say about so-called black women, how they're enemies of the state and how they're agents of white supremacy and how they only vote for who hates black men, so-called black men. So again, you men in the West, in America, focus on yourself. Don't have sex with these Western women. Do not entertain their terms or their shame or their guilt or their need to be right, okay? And just avoid supporting their ideas at all costs. And then you got simps. You got your celebrity simps who believe that men are misogynistic, but they don't never say anything about misandry and how the Western woman really like, you know, she's an undercover hater to masculinity and male leadership, right? Especially black male leadership, so-called black male leadership, okay? Because she refuses to submit, and she's a negative Nancy because she constantly talks herself out of living up to what's required of her by the so-called black man. She calls women pick-me's who cater to the men and do a good job as far as supporting a man that cares about them, right? So this is interesting, again, and men have made it clear. You got some men, that are making it clear to avoid these women. Don't be a pervert. Stop entertaining the lifestyles and stop financing the lifestyles that these women want to live. I haven't seen one idea that women came up with where women are making sure the idea has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everything that I see the Western woman doing there's always a handout involved, whether it's coming from society or the government. whether it's local government, state government, or federal. The women are always begging and complaining in order to receive things. I haven't seen a Western woman do anything. She has no leadership, so her organizations only benefit women. She's tooting her horn about her education, but she doesn't have a family and she's unfit to be a wife. And then she walks around thinking she's the prize and she's looking for men and she's trying to define a good man as a man that operates on her terms. So these women don't like godly men, all right? What is a good man to a woman over here? A man that is going to allow the woman to be sexually liberated, and then she's going to walk around with no accountability and no shame, right? So the leadership of men are being ignored and pretty much put to rest by these women. There's a lack of households with husbands, and there's a lack of marriage um, um, because of these females and the culture of America, right? So again, salute to the men that are going abroad. Salute to the men that held back on voting for any of these lesser devils. Definitely salute to the men who did not vote for a woman or any women, right? Men are voting for family. Women vote for what benefits themselves as an individual. I didn't see these women talk to these politicians about reparations for so-called Black, Latino, Native American families since they had a dog in the race. The so-called black man didn't have no dog in the race. Even if men are wealthy and voting for selfish reasons or personal reasons because Trump is a millionaire or however they vote based on finances. I don't get caught up in that because I'm not a millionaire. But yeah, the men vote for what benefits the family. Women vote for what benefits themselves as an individual. And the females are the ones keeping the gender war going. They're the ones that started the gender war. And the women are the ones that are only receiving incentives to stand alone, right? So I never believed that men abandoned their households the way women lied. Salakia, 1 second. Yeah, I never believed the narrative that men walked away from the households and the families and the children when you still have social services in 2024 actively incentivizing women and children and men who are not on the lease or women that are not married to these men. The men cannot be added to the lease or the men cannot live in these households because the women decided to sign themselves up for Section 8 programs and the men are not allowed to be there. So it's not the men that left the households, it's the women that left the man. And she joined hand in hand with the agencies and the government. So again, I don't like the Western woman because she's an enemy of the state. She's just as bad as white supremacy. She's a liar and she constantly blames everything on the men. So again, if a man is the blame for everything, then the man must be the prize and the man must be in charge and the woman must be the hater and she must be the one that has poor followership and she must be the one that is the wrecking ball for white supremacy and she must be the strongest soldier in a white man's army against the so-called black man. Black men, we have a lot of enemies. The black woman is one of them, okay? She's an agent of feminism. She's an agent of white supremacy. She hates so-called black male leadership because she joins hand in hand with who hates so-called black men. That's what she is. So keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, so-called black men, and we'll be rewarded when the so-called white rulership is destroyed. Now, before I get into this right there, I want to look at the faces, and you see. Look who you see. Just check this out. Look at that. Look who's up there behind the Michigan hat. Look at the mop top. You know, real hair is the real crown, ladies. Okay? And I'm a good man, but I don't like Western women. So when I hear women say we're the good men at, we're the good men at, we don't like you women. We're not checking for you women. That's where good men are. Good men do not like your image. Good men do not like your values. Good men do not like your spiritual values. Good men do not like your mama. Good men do not like your children. Good men do not want to have sex with you. Okay? Good men do not like you. Okay? Doesn't make us good men gay. Okay? Doesn't mean your shaming and your insults and your need to be right is right. It means you're undesirable. I'd rather go overseas and get me a woman from the Eastern Hemisphere. I would definitely rather wait for the kingdom to be married and have children and be a husband and have a family. I don't want to have a family with none of these women. I think it's best to keep these women single the same way white feminism and their agents of feminism and their the women that they know and support so much and agree with so much. I believe in that. I'm gonna keep these women single the way they want to keep themselves single. They're undesirable. They fought for liberation and unaccountability, and to me, the Western woman is super duper disrespectful. She's super duper disrespectful. She'll commit fraud. She'll commit paternity fraud. Okay, she'll commit fraud as far as child support, using a man's information without his consent. Okay, these Western women are liabilities. They're a threat. They're dangerous. Okay, to fatherhood and manhood. I'm voting for whoever's going to destroy America. That's who I'm voting for. Okay, and that's going to be the Most High. So I vote for the Most High. But look at these Kamala Harris voters who are apparently they're sad. That's the way I like to see a so-called white woman, like the one at the bottom. Those two right at the bottom. I like to see them like that. Sad, disappointed. That's when I know something is really starting to get to them. Because abortions don't hurt women. Okay? Kamala said that all these women were victims. Victims of what? Their own choices? Okay? I'm sure there are women out there being abused sexually, but that's not all women. All of these ads that I've seen Kamala air that supported her campaign was full of undesirable women who don't even look like they're sexable. Older men do not want to have sex with older women. Okay, 50, 60, 70-year-old women talking about the right to have an abortion. They look like they don't even like to have sex. They look like they don't even like penis. And they're on commercials playing the victim. So since Western women are victims of men so much, then leave us the fuck alone. Go abroad. Go buy toys. Go buy that the D Machine 3000. You know what I mean? They have unlimited contraceptives. Celibacy is not the answer. Stop having sex is not a solution to these Western women. Celibacy is not going to work. Then my thing is this. Same-sex marriage is legal. Why don't y'all marry each other, since that's who agrees with your rhetoric? I'd rather see Western women marry another Western woman that agrees with her ideas and her babble and her narrative. Marry each other. All it takes for the men to do is to Leave these women alone. This 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 whole all men got to do is walk away. This shit could be over in like less than 2 hours, 24 hours, man. Men walking away from female ideas. Maybe it's the culture with the Western men too. The celebrating paganism, believing in all the superstition of religion, you know, paganism, superstition, witchcraft, feminism. You know what I mean? A lot of these Western men are romantic, endless romantics as well. They like flowers too. They like all of this feminism stuff too. A lot of male feminists are here too. I'm not even talking to them because they're going to be destroyed right along with these programs and these women too. Like this man right here in the green hat. Look at the faces on these. Look at the two lesbians over there. So again, Kamala's campaign was full of unaccountable women who wanna delete children, have a license to murder babies, innocent children. Your body, your choice, but your body, my child. And I haven't seen no men stand up and say, yeah, it's your body, but it's my child, and you're murdering my child without my consent. Not even the ones that are being assaulted. I'm talking about the ones that are having consensual intercourse. They're still going out there using abortions as a plan B. So, it was a victory for, so-called white men. You know what I mean? Look at this. Now, let's get into some of these comments that the women left on social media. Look at this right here. The so-called black woman left this. Look at this. It says, I hope Kamala continues to lock. Look what it says. I hope Kamala continues to lock you black men up. I actually don't care. Don't care about any of you. Right? The so-called black woman in America, I've been telling men they don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you being a father. They don't give a damn about you being a husband. They don't care about you being, that you are putting your purpose first. They don't care about their role or position as helpmeets. Okay? They want you men to be simps and suckers. And to look at and to put your values to the side and throw them away and just serve women. White supremacy is using you women as tools of destruction to destroy families. The man is not supporting that trash. Why would I support something that hates me? I don't see why. Look at the next one. So I don't care about none of you, and I hope she locks you up. Look at that. To the black men in Georgia that voted for Trump, next time a cop has their knee on y'all neck, y'all necks, please, look what it say. Please leave us black women, right, out of it. Okay? Leave us black women out of it. So when the Bible points out that Eve is the one that was deceived by Satan because the woman is equal to Satan. She's equal to Satan. She's below man. Man is the prize. Man is always the target. Trying to bring down the white man, trying to bring down the so-called black man is the agenda of Kamala and the so-called black women that supported her Eastern Indian ass. Okay? That's what just took place. These women need to know their place. Stay in your place. Your place is beneath the so-called black man. It goes the Most High, his son, Yahweh Shah, who y'all ignorantly call Jesus, man, woman, and child. That is the proper order. Get in your place, Western woman. You will never be a leader. You will never be my leader. Okay, no woman is my leader. No so-called white man is my leader or my savior. So to hell with Jesus, to heaven with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, okay? We need to defund the budget that so-called blacks receive annually for celebrating being black. These so-called black women didn't even fight for reparations, and they had a dog in the race. How stupid is that? Rather, plan out the agenda to bring down the so-called black man. When I say we got enemies, and I be telling the brothers from my channel, my commentary, my content is telling men to stop caring about what the Western woman thinks. I don't give a damn what the Western woman thinks. I know she's trash in the eyes of the Creator and in the eyes of us good men. Always, these so-called black women are always supporting the agenda to bring down the so-called black man. When the so-called black man, all he wants is a family and a loving wife that is submissive and trying to do her best to keep her portion of what's required of her by the Creator, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. Let's look at this other comment. It says, let me turn this one sideways. She says, something to the black man for Trump. Get ready to pay child support one day and be stopped by the police the next day. No one is protesting for you on the streets. Get fucked. See that? I always explain that the only time women get mad is when men are refusing to do what they want you to do. The women get mad when you're not a simp. The men get mad when you're not trying to be a stepdad. The women get mad when you're not a sucker or when you're not like hypnotized or admiring women, right? Man, listen, y'all men better stay in y'all position of power that the Most High put y'all in. Keep the Most High first. A woman is never first. She's not even second. She's not even third. She comes last to handling your business and serving your purpose. Okay? And an unlawful woman is not even valued. Okay? She has zero value. The whores, the promiscuity, the unaccountability, the disrespect, okay? The ongoing gender war that they are keeping going since before they were born. Most of these women were not even born in the 60s. These younger women that are 40 and 30 and 20 something years old, they're just picking up the torch that their agents of feminism, mothers and sisters and aunties decided to do, passing down the torch from the 60s. So let's get into some of this. Look, okay. So they talk about misogyny and all of that. I don't know. Western culture is perverted. Western culture is sexually liberated. right? So I don't really give a damn if there is some misandry going around. You better expect it, because all of this sexual liberation and all of these perverts and all of this hypersexuality and stuff like that going around, I wouldn't expect nothing less than some misandry going on around here, because you got feminism, you got child support, you got this narrative that men ain't shit. I mean, hey, so what? Let the games begin. And then you got the game that women are playing with this lifestyle that they want to live called dating, which is nothing but escorting and low-class prostitution. That's all it is. When prostitution is illegal outside of those 8 counties in Oregon, Slovakia out there in Nevada, okay? So, again, a lot of these men need to be calling the police and getting these women locked up for low-key escorting and low-key prostitution, okay? They try to be escorts because being called a prostitute is illegal, so they try to be prostitutes under escorting. Look, man, there's going to be I don't really give a damn if there's some misandry. Some misogyny. But I know there's a high level of misandry amongst the so-called Black, Latino, Native American community coming from the women, okay? And misandry is a hatred of males. A hatred of males is what misandry is, okay? So they believe that there was a high level of misandry, misogyny and racism. Okay, with so-called Black women, y'all are not fighting racism. Y'all are joining it. I don't see Black women fighting racism. I see Black women only subscribing to programs that benefit them, or only subscribing to messages and organizations and agents and agencies that support women separate from the so-called Black man. I don't vote for nothing that the Black woman is a part of. If she's trying to be a leader in any category, I'm not voting for that. I don't vote for women, female leadership. I don't vote for females to be judges. I don't vote for none of that shit. I don't want to see a woman as a judge. I want to see a woman as a damn doctor. Okay? A woman as a wife. That's it. Know your place and stay in your place. Get back in your place, so-called Black woman. Because when white supremacy drops y'all like a bad habit and stops supporting all of your misandry, all of your hatred for so-called Black men, then you're gonna come crawling back on all fours. Or you're gonna jump off the tallest building, slit your throat. Okay? So we got misandry. All right, so you men, stop being nice to these women over here. Stop being nice to these women over here. All right, there goes the definition of nice. Foolish, ignorant, okay, stupid, silly, foolish, frivolous, poor, weak, okay, silly, okay, senseless. Stop being nice in the West, man. These people don't like you men. It don't make sense for women to stand for all women when there are groups of women that don't like you women who cater to the men or have a husband or can keep a marriage or can keep a relationship. There's women out there who don't like you women, who try to keep your marriage and your family together with this man. Look, think I'm tripping? Look, watch this. Let's go to this woman. Check this out.
Yeah. That I'm.
Look, check this out.
You care about how this man sees you, you're gonna move a certain way. You know that this man doesn't want you to dress this way, or he wants a woman that's respectful and carries herself that way, and he wants a woman that wears her hair this way, and blah, blah. And you feed into all of that because you're hoping to be picked because you're a pick-me.
See that? Because you're hoping to be picked because you're a pick-me. So, again, unlawful women, they despise and hate, even though they act like they don't want to, they go around saying, well, hate is a strong word, you shouldn't hate people. They'll say God love everybody. That's why it's all The Western woman is trash and Western culture is trash because Western culture is hypocritical. These are colonizers who are writing laws for the citizens to obey. And they didn't want to give reparations to our forefathers, and they don't want to give reparations to us because the deal was with our great-great-grandfathers, and they didn't want to give reparations to us because they didn't make the deal with us. So while so-called black women are joining hand in hand with white supremacy don't like you either. Why you so-called black women do all this brown nosing? Okay? You guys are doing all this hot tour to white supremacy. You guys are mascots and house dogs for white supremacy, and white supremacy don't even like you. They're only going to vote for you women because you went. I mean, they're only going to campaign for you unlawful women because you guys are unlawful. They know that you don't like who they don't like. So now it's easy to see these women because you guys came out. This campaign brought y'all out and made y'all show y'all playbook. Any man that didn't see the playbook, you might want to double back and watch some of this content that these unlawful women are going online spewing. They're spewing hate. Black men are supporting families. You know what I mean? And submissive women. Look at this.
That I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so devastated behind an election. And it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men and they say all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you. And he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just hates everybody? Like, what? And crying in my room this morning.
Yes, Trump is the better candidate because he don't like me neither. Shit. I don't want a woman in there, but I'd rather have Trump in there because I know he's going to make some people happy, and then he's going to bring this place down ultimately. So I like Trump ultimately because he don't like y'all niggas. He don't like y'all black women. He don't like us black men. And a spirit like him is going to force niggas back into segregation when we were doing much more better as a unit, as a team. So while you women, you so-called black unlawful ass women, constantly work against family, God, structure, the laws of heaven, and your place as a female, you want to be sexually liberated and walk around unaccountable, and you want to murder children, whether you're being assaulted or not, because you're down there at Planned Parenthood all the time. You women are using abortions as birth control. And your sexuality goes unchecked, and y'all women are out here catching diseases, spreading diseases, exercising y'all sexual fantasies with straight men and with crooked men. Okay, y'all are a part of the problem. Y'all are not a part of the solution. The solution is unsubscribe from the word black. Stop calling yourselves black. Defund whatever finances are dispersed to the churches and the so-called black female community. Stop with the financing of celebrating being black and activities of being black. Take that money and use that money to cut a check for reparations. We can't even get reparations because it's already been given in the form of programs to you so-called black women. Because y'all want to run from a male leadership. And y'all think that this white race is about to empower you women to where what y'all think the end game is. Y'all gonna have your own state. Y'all gonna have y'all own what? Y'all gonna have y'all own slave slave quarters next to the White House? What y'all fighting for? You guys are gonna be brought down with this so-called white race. I don't vote for future slaves, and I definitely don't vote for women to be leaders. Hell no. Hell no, I ain't voting for no black woman. Hell no, I don't even want to marry a black woman. Not a Western woman. Hell no. I don't even want to see, I don't even want to, I don't even want to support none of the ideas or lifestyles that black women have. I don't support their stupid ass religions. I don't support their stupid ass, none of their organizations. I don't support they dumbass children. I don't support none of these ideas that have any so-called black women trying to be a leader. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. So I hope Trump cuts programs. I hope he cuts Section 8. I hope he cuts welfare. Hope he cut them damn food stamps for these so-called black women. I hope he tears down all these projects, these poor so-called black female communities. Nah, tear all this shit down. Hell yeah, tear this shit down. I hope the white supremacists turn up. I hope they turn up on these niggas. Yeah, yeah. You're not about to debunk racism. You're not about to overthrow racism, so-called black women, by joining them. Always want to join white supremacy. What, you want to have sex with the so-called white men? You want to use your sexuality to get benefits? You think your image, your unlawful mop top synthetic image is going to get you an outhouse or something? What y'all think y'all about to, what? Use y'all sexuality to get, y'all think y'all can use y'all sexuality to get things and everything that y'all begging for? Look.
My brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro. These niggas are so, they live on another planet. And it's because none of this shit affects men. That's why. Men don't talk about nothing that don't directly affect them. If it does not directly affect men, they do not give a.
And she's true. I don't give a fuck about nothing that a woman is trying to do if it don't benefit me. I don't give a fuck. I hope this strikes a nerve. I hope these so-called black women cry until they catch high blood pressure from swallowing those tears. I'm so glad to see these unlawful ass women upset. Glad. I'm glad. You mad? Good. Y'all big mad too, good. Y'all sad too, good. Y'all sad because y'all are upset that y'all didn't win by putting an agent in office that don't like black men. I didn't hear none of these so-called black women trying to get Kamala to do anything about what happened to Kanika Jenkins. Okay? There was no justice message or promise about nothing. It was all about making women victims, playing this victim card. So that's why I don't want to have nothing to do with the Western woman, because she's constantly acting like a victim. When I need protection against the women. So yeah, salute to the black men, the so-called black men that are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. that are totally avoiding and abandoning this Western woman, because there are men that had children by these unlawful women before they entered into the truth, and now it helps them, like keeping the laws, like therapy. Now they realize why it's best, like why it's a good thing to avoid and abandon this Western woman. If a woman is raising my children unlawfully, and I had children with her before I came into the truth, man, she can have them damn children. And I'm focused on keeping the law. Give a damn about these Western women. I had a chance to see the serious hatred that so-called black women have for the black family. They don't even know how to stop the foolishness. They don't even know how to unsubscribe and take their foot off the damn gas with feminism and insults and disrespect and no shame. Look, look.
Motherfuckers hating women is the whole reason he got elected in the first place. The first time he got elected, he ran up against a woman. Second time, he ran up against a man, and it wasn't even a good candidate. And
Yeah, yeah. Trump is doing a good job by not letting women win. Yeah. Trump is doing real good. Yeah, he's an honest devil. He's an Edomite, and I don't like him. I don't like him, but I respect him, and I'd rather see him in there than see a damn female in there. And a so-called white man is not gonna let a woman get in there. Not even a so-called white woman. Okay, the women are gonna stay in their place. Stay in your place, woman. And the so-called black woman is not happy with her place. That's why she's constantly trying to get away from it. Constantly trying to demonize male leadership and demonize her position that God put her in. You so-called women are helpmeets. Men are not the help. I'm not helping a woman do nothing if she's not one of my wives. Okay? Yup. Y'all rather be one of many hoes to one of or a couple men. Y'all rather be sexually liberated with multiple sexual partners, but y'all don't want to see a man have multiple wives that he loves and he's going to protect and provide for and problem solve for and be a leader. Y'all don't want to see a man be a king. Y'all don't want to see no black so-called black man be a king and have his leadership and his resources. Y'all are enemies of the state. Y'all are upset because y'all so-called black women do not like your place that God put y'all in as helpmeets, servants, okay, to men. Your only purpose in life is man. Y'all don't like it. Yeah. And y'all gonna have to argue that with the Most High. Your salvation, part of your salvation is based on a man, okay? And how well you kept the law and how good you were to your husbands. But with all this promiscuous behavior and all of these incorrect attitudes and outlooks and views that you have about your so-called men, I don't see no other race of women doing this to their men except for the so-called black woman. You so-called black women are trash because you're unlawful. And y'all are always trying to undermine your own race, your own family, your own chance of having a family. I've never seen no other group of women destroy their opportunity to have a household and a family and a husband and a marriage like you so-called black Western women. I saw the play. I saw the playbook. And that's why I say you men better save yourselves from a world that hates you. The women don't like you. They don't support you. They don't support your leadership. They don't support you being a father. They want to see you locked up. They want to see you get jammed up and deleted by those who hate you.
he lost. He ran up against a woman. Shit.
All right. So that's the election. Okay. I don't vote. I didn't vote. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning that followeth. Okay, if you don't know that you are Jacob, Jacob is the forefather of the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child. He is our forefather. Esau is the forefather of the so-called white race, whether they are, don't matter where they are, the so-called white race. Okay, that's their forefather. And right now, the so-called white race is in rulership. Okay, and that's why in 2 Corinthians 4 and 4, 4 and 3 through 5, it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay, so if the gospel is hid, it is hid from those who are lost. The Western woman who subscribes to Western culture and values and white supremacy and constantly aligning herself and joining hand in hand with white supremacy agencies, you are lost and you are a part of the problem. Okay, the unlawful woman is lost. It says 2 Corinthians 4 and 4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of God, of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Okay? For we preach not of ourselves, but Christ, but for we preach not of ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahushai, the Lord, and ourselves. Okay? So, we don't preach this word of ourselves, but of Hamashiach Yahushai. Okay? So, those that are lost, the so-called amongst the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, those that are lost are considered the blind and the unbelievers. So this law of the Bible is going to be familiar to those that are a part of the elect and that are meant to receive it and see it. These 2/3 don't see it. So there's no need to even entertain them, address them, not even talking to them, because they're not even lawful and they're not even a part of the elect and they're not even going to return back to their heritage. Okay? So I got a few articles in here to support some of this foolishness that the Western woman promotes, her lifestyles. It says, mom pushed her 2 children over railing at Niagara Falls before jumping to her death, police claim. So she was deliberate. She did that on purpose. She deleted her children and then she jumped off herself. This is the end game of the so-called Western black woman. She's unlawful. She'd rather delete children rather than see the children with their fathers. The energy, the hatred is real towards fatherhood and husbands and marriage and family. The hatred is real amongst the so-called black woman. I'd rather see her delete herself, or I'd rather see her marry other women with her ideas and her superstitions and her values and her rhetoric and her disrespect and her games that she plays on masculinity. Okay? This is good though. Judgment is taking place on the earth right now, and it's a good sign. Okay? Judgment taking place right now on earth is a good sign. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. That's good. There's going to be a falling away. That's going to be good. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction. That's going to be good. Okay? I want to see somebody in office that's going to destroy this place, and Trump is the perfect person to do it. And then again, whoever's in office is not going to prevent World War III or prophecies from taking place. Trump is not going to do it either, even though he seems to have a greater chance of being buddy-buddy with these other nations like North Korea. And Putin calls himself being a businessman, but what's going to jack up this country are the tariffs. And Trump was already talking about tariffs this morning, putting tariffs on China again, biting the hand that feeds America. And the Chinese have sold trillions of dollars of America's debt to other countries. So they're not stopping the World War III train from taking its course. Okay. Mom pushed her 2 children over railing at Niagara Falls before jumping to her death. Police claim, again, these so-called Western women are trash. Here goes the Western woman that pushed her children off the railing before she jumped to her death. All right. I don't even want to try to pronounce her name because that's a stupid name. Picture jumped off the Niagara Falls along with her 2 kids. She has that stupid mop top. Okay, there's no coming back from the superstitions of white supremacy religion of Christianity. Christianity is a hell of a drug. It's stronger than heroin and crack. And what it does to the minds of those who subscribe to it, there's no returning from that. The most people I see believing in falsehoods of this so-called white Jesus are people that are out of their minds or homeless people that are down bad, right? Or people who walk around exercising their superstition and falsehoods and all of that rhetoric and stuff like that, right? So this is a good thing. Judgment took place. Getting rid of you unlawful Western women with your stupid weave, okay, your stupid image, okay. Tired of seeing y'all with no clothes on. Tired of seeing y'all with y'all boobs out, half naked. Tired of seeing tight clothes. Tired of seeing y'all's image. Y'all image is ugly. All right. I never liked none of their images. They go into these beauty supply stores, right? And they come out looking like clowns, right? They come out looking destroyed. They go and put those accessories in their hair and they come out looking terrible, right? And I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a licensed barber. Y'all women and your image is destroyed. They look like mental patients. They look like they need therapy. They look like they need to be in some insane asylum, okay, with your synthetic image. I can't believe they let these women take pictures on their IDs with this altered image. You know what I mean? It's just like a so-called black man lightening his hair and turning his hair color to a bright orange, and then he, I don't know, destroys his image some more by putting on some makeup, identifying as the opposite gender, going into the DMV, looking like a damn transformer, has his bright orange hair, and then he has this diabolical look about him, looking like these Western unlawful women, right? And they let him take the picture or let him get his picture taken, and then he walks out of there with his new ID that has this altered image on it. This is what they're pretty much letting these women get away with. They get to wear all this fake up and go around with this destroyed image because they subscribe to these terrible lifestyles that are destructive and funky and diabolical. They hate anyone who degrades their or who criticizes how they appear in public, right? This is not even a private look. This is how they go around in public looking like it's Halloween all the time. These women look crazy out here. I see them all the time. I'm a good man. I walk right past these women. I'm not impressed with this onesie. I'm not impressed with your tight clothes. Okay? You look like you stink. Okay? Your image looks funky. Okay? Your body positivity is not positive. Okay? I'm avoiding it. Okay? You can't even get these women to explain none of their values. They get offended when you want to ask questions about what they claim they know. They don't know nothing. These women have they're like educated dummies, man. They got all this education, but then they're constantly complaining about not making no money. They're always getting evicted. It goes on and on. And yeah. So again, we seen this. Now here goes Charleston White. Let's hear this Uncle Ruckus say.
She don't like black women because she did not put not one black woman on her platform. She went and got black itches. She went and got them rapping itches that shake their ass and pop their pussy. She did not go get a woman that could talk. She did not get a black woman. She went and got black itches that know how to shake their ass and pop their tussies.
That's right.
She did not go get an upstanding black woman to speak to black people.
That's right.
I keep telling her, she did not go get upstanding black women to come talk to upstanding black people. She went and got Glorilla, talk about Moose Knuckles. She went to go get Cardi B, who cheat on her husband.
That's
She
right.
went to go get Megan Thee Stallion, who done slept with over. She went and got Megan Thee Stallion, the industry hoe, who done slept with over. Oh, she went and got hoes and bitches to try to talk to black women. Oh, I can't wait to do a Say Cheese TV interview. She went.
And she also, Cardi B was drugging men. You know what I mean? That's why I say this gender war in America, it's all trash. White culture's trash. Black culture's trash. They're hypocritical. The women are the victims. They don't like men. They want to destroy men and exploit men and play this demonic game with men as if the being a family doesn't benefit the woman. So again, the Western culture has destroyed family, marriage, and gender. Civility, right? We're no longer civil with each other as men and women because of the values of the West. And that's why it's like, okay, if you vote, I don't want nothing to do with you. If you believe in abortions, I don't want to deal with you. If you subscribe to Christianity, I definitely don't want to deal with you. If you got a cross on your neck, that lowercase t, that damn idol, then no, I don't want nothing to do with you. If you are a single mother, I don't want to marry you. If you live the lifestyle of dating, you're off limits. I don't want nothing to do with you escorts and you prostitutes. No, you're looking for a man to only provide and protect. No, I don't want to provide or protect you women. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I don't want to have children with y'all. I don't want to protect y'all. I don't want to provide for y'all because providing and protecting is old. You're looking for a traditional man, but you're not a traditional woman. So stop looking for traditional men. Traditional men don't like you women. They might want to have sex with y'all women because that's all you women have to offer is sex. Your value is femininity. That's your value. That's your only value. Okay? Your only value is your femininity. Good men do not value your hypersexuality. You could do that shit with your husband, but you can't be for the streets, right? Western women's culture is for the streets. Y'all walk around wanting to be liberated all the goddamn time. So, no, good men don't want nothing to do with you women, okay? So again, you men save yourselves from these women because I can't save you. All I can do is express to you as your brother how these women, you better notice their playbook, okay? They're going to try to take what you got, They're going to try to ruin your chances of being a father with a child. The values of your child will not be yours. They're going to raise your child to be a citizen. Your child going to be somewhere working at Wendy's some goddamn where, fucking with these Western women. Your child going to be somewhere trying to pay bills, asking to borrow money from your ass, fucking with these Western women. Okay? Your child going to be an idiot with a technical device and wanting to go out here and wear mop tops, and they're going to grow up as single mothers as your daughters, fucking with these Western women. Your son's going to learn to resent you because the child's mother is an agent and a supporter of programs for single mothers and children, and then the child going to grow up to resent you and say that you wasn't around and say that you left and all of this shit when the mother is the reason, because she's subscribed to white supremacy, religion, and she's also subscribed to the agency's Section 8 and welfare, and she's keeping her ears to the streets for what's benefiting so-called black women without husbands. So again, a lot of you men were raised by agents of white supremacy and agents of feminism and agents of falsehoods and superstition. You celebrate birthdays and paganism like that, then again, you were raised by an agent of paganism and white supremacy and superstition, and God don't like that. So I can't wait for whatever Trump gonna do. I hope he send the troops into Chicago and get rid of all them niggas. I hope he cut the funding on black programs. I hope he cut the funding on all of this stuff. Pull the plug on all the stuff that's funding the celebration of being so-called black.
They got holding bitches to talk to black women. My mama wouldn't dare listen to no woman that come out talking about Bodak Yellow. This ain't blood shoe. This is blood shoe. Oh, she went and got a retarded woman to shake her ass and pop her pussy.
That's
they
right.
Get bumps on her lips to talk to black women. HPV packing bitch. Oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Oh, we got my president back. Oh, we got my president back. Oh, I just fall to my knees and praise the Lord. I just fall to my knees and thank you, Jesus. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm so goddamn happy. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm so goddamn happy.
Yo, I like Charleston White because he don't like y'all niggas, and he don't like them niggas that God don't like. All right, Charleston needs to repent as well, but I like who don't like niggas. Okay, and I'm sick of so-called black people. You all right? So yeah, I'd rather see Trump in there because he don't like y'all. He don't like y'all. Y'all calling him a racist and all of that. Well, that's a good thing, because y'all niggas need to get back in y'all place and come together as a so-called black nation and do for y'all communities and rebuild y'all so-called black households with husbands and change the values of y'all women. See, I don't like the so-called black people because y'all make us look like we scared to correct our women, and y'all only support the destruction of the so-called black family and communities because y'all stand behind the misandry of y'all women. Until so-called black women learn to stand up to the negative ideas of other black women, I don't want nothing to do with so-called black people. And I'm black, so-called black, but I don't want nothing to do with these niggas. I want to see things wake y'all up and stir y'all up and or get rid of y'all. That's what I want to see. Because there's no correcting y'all women. Y'all women are off limits. Y'all women are the biggest problem and the biggest threat in every so-called black community. The men who want to be with those women are part of the problem too, because y'all will kill each other over these unlawful ass women that don't like fatherhood and don't like male leadership, right? How can y'all men support women who don't want to see men in leadership positions over women, when that's a woman's natural place, is to support the leadership of the men? See that? So I don't really care. I don't really care what happens to black people. I done gave up on black people. I don't want to see. I'm not trying to correct y'all. I don't want to help y'all. I don't want to do shit. Okay? I want y'all to help yourselves. And I'm just talking about the men who actually fall victim to these unlawful women. I'm always encouraging these men to totally walk away from y'all women. I done witnessed too many men suffer trying to be a father and trying to have a relationship with these Western unlawful women.
Tell y'all, I was
Here go another sellout, Ricky Smiley. He another one of these, um, Western Western men who need to unsubscribe from religion and Greek fraternities and his place, thinking he's a leader amongst. Well, he might be a leader amongst the so-called blacks, but this nigga ain't one of my leaders. He's if he ain't keeping the laws of the Most High, then he ain't even my brother. Okay, he ain't no brother of mine. All right, y'all celebrities only come out of the woodwork when they trying to get y'all to do some. When they get trying to get so-called blacks to buy into some agenda, some political agenda. Outside of that, y'all black celebrities talk shit about so-called blacks all day.
on Instagram, I was feeling optimistic, but I'm looking at all of the different counties between Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. She is pulling Hillary Clinton numbers, and I thought that we would be seeing a first woman get elected. I think this country is just as misogynist and sexist than it is racist.
See that? First thing he say is misogyny and sexist. Why is that a problem, but it's not a problem for the women that are sexist and that are misandrous? So again, these male feminists, they come off hypocritical because as a man, I'm not standing behind women agendas. I'm not standing for no agenda that supports female independence and it only targets women and children. When I see them little, how you go to the register at the gas station and it asks, do you want to donate to them children? I say, man, fuck them children. Women playing victim. Okay, well then marry each other. Go start a nation of y'all own. But y'all are begging white supremacy to sponsor and incentivize your separation from the so-called black man and family. That's what I'm seeing. And then y'all got these simps and these male feminists like this nigga right here that don't see the bigger picture. Ice Cube tried to write a letter to the president for the black agenda, and Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, and a couple other unlawful, unfit Western women, they was against the proposal that Ice Cube was going to present because it didn't have a separate agenda outlined for women. And Ice Cube told them, my agenda includes women and children. And they said, no, we want a separate agenda that outlines the benefit of women because women have special needs separate from the black man. Women don't have no special needs. Y'all are special need. That's the special need. Y'all are special need. The Western woman is special needs. They need to go get diagnosed because the math ain't mathing, okay? And I know that Western blacks like to get offended and defensive when it comes to financial literacy. But the math is not mathing with the so-called black community. Y'all have men that were raised by women that support female leadership. And then the men, they constantly come with that same narrative. They think like women and sound like women that are feminists and that hate their submissive, supportive position that God created women for. So these same men that identify with black, that's why I say defund the so-called black agenda, defund the so-called black activities. I want to see the defunding of the so-called black agenda. If so-called black people were smart, they would want to pull the plug on all of the support that goes towards celebrating being black, and they would say, cut a check. Why y'all want to keep celebrating being black? And it's the majority of black people that want to keep celebrating being black. And the solution, the so-called black community do not agree with separating from white people, starting their own nation, serving your own God, unsubscribing from religion. It's going to take World War III, death and destruction before so-called black, Latino, Native Americans can get back to being a family. We're going to have to, it's going to have to be World War III sounds about right. Because I don't think there's no, I don't see no end to the gender war that women are constantly going forth with. And I don't see the Western woman unsubscribing from her agenda to be independent and by using the so-called black man as a scapegoat, or constantly using the man as the blaming the man for the female agenda not really gaining any traction. Well, you could blame me for that because I don't support female independence and I don't support female leadership. I don't care to see women in leadership positions unless they're, leading other women. And the Bible tells you what to do. It tells the older women to train up the younger women to be wives. So, yeah. Let's listen to this coon some more.
But she's pulling those Hillary Clinton numbers. She's not running up the numbers like Joe Biden did.
I hear Kamala speak. It sounds like a script from.
Now we know Hulk Hogan said he's a little racist. Hey, I'm racist. I'm racist and I'm prejudiced. Okay? And I respect other races and others that are prejudiced. I actually get along with racist and prejudiced other people. I get along with them because I don't want to have sex with their women, and I don't want their sons to have sex with my daughters. So I'm fine with all of that. It's these niggas it's these unbeliever, unlawful niggas that are making it difficult to be a family again. All right, and to do what the Most High requires of us. It's these niggas that are jacking that up. But see, again, I'd rather see a man in office that don't like us, because that's we were doing better when we were segregated as a people anyway. So yeah, anybody that's gonna do something like that, I'm with it. Because what a racist would do is he'll shut down the private, one-sided agenda that these women are trying to do. He'll shut that down. We have these enemies of the state in the so-called black women that are trying to find a slave massa, right, that hates black men as much as they hate black men, the women, and then they'll make that their leader. They don't like Trump, even though he don't like us, and Kamala and them don't like us neither. See, these niggas like anybody who's going to pretend to like them and who's going to use the hatred and the misandry of them to go against the so-called black man. See, the man, I'm telling you, so-called black man, I'm telling you, you are the prize, man. You are the prize, man. Okay? The hunters be hunting the buck. You know what I mean? They don't be caring about them female deers, man. They looking for the man. The male lion, the male deer. The male is the prize, yo. The females have always been used to be the tool to destroy the kingdoms. And my thing is, I done seen too many men lose their position over women. That's why I say, nah, man, we don't need no women leaders, man. Fuck that. Screw that. To hell with that. No. We're gonna keep this shit racial. Let's keep this shit racial. Because the black man has been on the same racial battlefield since the so-called black woman decided to pretend like there is no, that we don't have the same enemy. So, okay, cool, black woman. Okay, you the enemy. You join forces with those who don't like us. And we see that.
Hollywood with a really, really bad actress. You know, Kamala is responsible for the border crisis, and Kamala is also responsible for inflation. And then you know something? She acts like she's the victim. And then all of a sudden, she flips, she flops, she spins and turns it around and acts like she's gonna be the damn hero.
See that?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where the women, that's pretty much what the so-called black women are getting all their cues from. You know, the black woman is not smart. White supremacy is smarter than black women. Black women are not smart. They claim to be the most educated, but that's just a particular study. Black women are educated dummies to me. Okay? The Western black woman. All right? You do have your few women that should have been up there. Shahrazad Ali should have been there. Some of these prominent female leaders who have leadership traits that other women can learn from. But women who want to decenter men and encompass men or compass men and be, you're not my leader. Women, you are not my leader. You are not my leader. Y'all are not man enough to be leaders. Y'all are not men. Men are leaders. Women are not leaders of men. Okay? Y'all need to get back in y'all place, man. All right? And if I got anything to do with it, y'all gonna be back in y'all place. I vote for women to get back in their place. Y'all women are to help. Y'all purpose is to help men. Okay? That's y'all purpose. Get back in y'all place, man. Enough with y'all games. Enough with y'all sexual games. Enough with y'all thinking that y'all sex is the prize. Y'all sex is not the prize. Okay? The only time y'all sex is really popping is when y'all being hoes. Y'all can't keep a marriage because y'all sex ain't hitting on shit when y'all married. Y'all sex ain't hitting on shit when it's time for y'all to be a family. Okay? Y'all sex is hitting on shit when y'all are at y'all lowest point in the community, in the nation. Okay? When y'all are just shameless and diabolical. Okay? So y'all gotta be like damn near slut, you know, y'all gotta slut yourselves out to really be like desirable, you know, in the streets. Y'all are for the streets when y'all are at y'all best. All right? Y'all don't even know how to look desirable and modest at the same time. Okay? Good men do not desire y'all women. Where are the good men at? Good men are here. They just don't like y'all. We don't like y'all. Y'all are ugly. Y'all are not happy. And I won't be happy with you. I will not be happy with one of these Western women. I don't even want the women that I'm dealing with now. Okay, these Western women. And I'm dealing with multiple women, and it's going to stay that way. Monogamy is not the solution. And for y'all women, y'all are hypocrites. Y'all can't even, celibacy is not even a solution for y'all. Y'all can't even stop having sex. Y'all can't even prevent being a single mother. Y'all don't know how to not end up as a single mother and y'all can't even explain how to not end up a single mother without blaming the man for being one. You know what I mean? Good men do not want to be with y'all women. Good men do not want to have sex with y'all women. Good men do not really try to we don't even miss y'all. I don't even see y'all. If I do see y'all, then I'm gonna act like I don't see y'all. Okay? I see these women day in, day out. Trash. The Playbook. Let's let this finish because I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
I hear Kamala speak.
Watch this.
It sounds like a script from Hollywood.
And that's true because, again, the women play victim and then they turn it around and act like they're going to be the heroes. Man, listen, if that's not a play out of Satan's playbook to create the chaos and then give you a solution, these women are equal to Satan because they're using the same plays that Satan is using, but he's using it on a higher level. They're taking cues and pointers from who they really worship. They worship Satan, but they walk amongst the devil, which is Esau, the so-called white race. Okay? Just a bunch of devils. And the women are actually thinking like, oh, wow, we can actually, join hand in hand with Satan and his people, right? With Satan and his people, right? See that? You know what I'm saying? They rather join hand in hand with those who don't like us. Now, I'm all for who don't like us being in office. But look at this.
No.
Look at this big face, big mouth demon. This unlawful ass woman. Look.
Why?
And they go on social media. Social media is their therapy. They use it as therapy, and they've exposed themselves on this damn internet. This internet is like a place for these women to just expose their antics. I don't blame the internet. I blame these women for being such idiots in the first place. See, only niggas be blaming internet, society, government. It's their fault. It's the white man's fault. It's racism. It's misandry. Or it's misogyny. It's this and that. No, it's the misandry. It's not the misogyny. It's the misandry. The misandry is the reason why all of this is the way it is, because you don't respect male leadership, women. And you don't know your place, and you don't like your place that God put you in. Okay? You're submissive. Okay? And your purpose is to cooperate and to support male purpose. Okay? So just because you group of women are ungodly and decided to give up the ghost and walk away from your God and demonize marriage, calling marriage prostitution, you know what I mean? Y'all done demonized marriage. Y'all done demonized celibacy. Only thing y'all have not demonized yet is killing babies, abortion, right? Y'all have not demonized being hoes. Y'all have not demonized sexual liberation. Y'all have not demonized being unlawful. The Western woman be saying, oh, thank God this and God that. Then when it's time for her to explain who God is, she don't know shit about God, man. All she does is regurgitate Catholicism. God love everybody, and they think God is Jesus. And no, man, God is not Jesus, man. Okay? Jesus ain't no funky ass white man that look like a homosexual. That's not Jesus, man. Okay? Y'all are educated dummies. Okay? And I'm sick of these women. I'm sick of their disrespect. I'm sick of their unlawful nature. They hate their own nature. Women hate their own nature over here. And they keep playing this same game. They play this same game just to avoid their purpose. Get back in your place, Western woman. Your place is to be a follower, a cooperating, obedient wife, okay? A servant. You're supposed to serve your husband. You're his helpmeet. Your sex is supposed to be an act of marriage, okay? So again, these are spiritual laws that these women run from. Meanwhile, they'll say, well, it's not legal, and it's not legal for a man to have multiple wives. And hey, man, the Most High legalized it, man. Y'all are still carnal. Y'all are thinking, oh, the so-called white man didn't legalize this and that. Man, I'm not waiting on no white man to legalize a man having multiple wives when y'all women feel like y'all are liberated and y'all can have multiple sex partners. Y'all are just basing things on this white man giving y'all incentives, and y'all are used to all of y'all progress coming from the so-called white race. Because y'all know y'all place ain't gonna change dealing with the Most High. He ain't gonna allow y'all to usurp no authority over the men, okay? The so-called black woman is not gonna be the god doggone backbone of the community in the so-called, in the kingdom of heaven when the so-called black man is in his rulership, okay? So y'all like how y'all support the so-called white race in their rulership, but then y'all have a disdain for having your own rulership. That's the only reason so-called black women get along with the so-called white race, because the so-called white race hates the God that the woman, the so-called black Latino Native American woman comes from. The so-called white man is unlawful, and the so-called white race hates the so-called black man. They only like so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians when they're acting like when they're being obedient and supporting white survivalism. So let's get this stupid woman off the screen right quick. Let's finish her. Let her finish being an idiot real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this out the way, and I'm gonna end this.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
See, it used to be only so-called whites that used to throw tantrums. Growing up, we used to laugh at so-called whites who throw tantrums and, can't, suppress their anger, and, they end up in bad situations because of their, mismanagement of their anger and all of this stuff. It used to just be so-called whites that used to be the laughing stock of throwing tantrums, but now it's so-called black women and, so-called black men that are acting undisciplined when it in the face of authority and stuff like that. They get that from the so-called black women. The so-called black women gave themselves permission to be like that because they they're big time converts, right, and big time sellouts. But let's let this finish.
What the hell?
Okay, so here goes. We're gonna let this video play because I encourage the brothers to deal with women from other nations. Again, it's against the law of the of Yahweh to marry outside your race. But again, going to other nations does not mean there aren't women and men that are Israelites, Hebrews, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Doesn't mean you're not going to find so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in other nations. So when I say I encourage men to leave America and to deal with women in other nations, I mean look for your tribes, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in other nations. Because here this is Germany, and we have this German woman. Shout out to Soraya Brooks. She's a so-called white woman. She, she could be so-called black, Latino, Native Indian, who knows? But I'm gonna just give her so-called white card right now. But she's pushing the submissive, cooperative woman, the modest woman. She's saying over in Germany, these women love to see so-called black men come over there, and they're catering to men versus this Western woman who's always out to undermine and to disrespect and to sabotage the so-called black man over here in the West. So I'm gonna let this video play, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut out of here because I think I've been on for almost over an hour. So I'm gonna let this play and let her talk and let you see how men, so-called black men, are being treated over in Germany by the women in Germany. And it is a total, it's like night and day compared to these unlawful Western trashy ass women. Check it out.
Oop, I'm sorry about the voiceover, but I have to talk over the music because of some copyright issues. And just look at the vibe over here. Look at him showing all of his teeth singing this love song. Just look at him loving it all. I mean, look at them. Don't they look like a whole boy group singing on stage? I mean, of course, how could they not like the vibe? I mean, they got these random men. They're not rappers, but they're all up on stage with some fine ladies. I mean, how could you not love it over here? I mean, you see everybody is just dancing with each other, just having a great time. It's a great vibe, no drama, no nothing. Meanwhile, you have women in America going home alone, wondering where all the men are. Why they're not at the club? Where are they? They're here in Germany.
It is night 230.
And the men are, the good men are here. They're all around. They just don't like the women that they see. They don't like the image, they don't like their attitude, and they can see right through these women. You Western women look like the green numbers that Neo saw when he had risen to his full potential, and how he saw digits. Y'all women look like digits to us good men. I know to me, all I see is digits. I see right through y'all. I could see your algorithm. I could see your pretentious ass nature. I can see and smell and I could feel that you gonna fuck me over. You gonna fuck me over in the process of trying to care about you, and you gonna fuck me over later if I ever impregnate you and attempt to get you to be what you're required to be by the Most High. So from the beginning, I automatically ruin the experience myself by talking about God, talking about a woman's purpose, and women run from that shit. So I be like clapping my hands and stomping my feet when I see a woman run from her submissive, what's required of her, Salakia. I get to clap my hands and stump my feet when a woman runs from what's required of her submissively, what's required of her to be a helpmate, okay? What's required of her to be modest, what's required of her to not be disrespectful and to be disciplined, right? They run from this shit. So that's their kryptonite. The Western woman's kryptonite is what's required of her. Feminine, fit, friendly, obedient, cooperative, supportive. Okay? Feminine, right? That's their kryptonite. Where are all the good men? The good men are everywhere. They just don't like you. I do not like this Western unlawful woman. I despise her because I see her playbook. Just check out this woman right here. She's leaving the club. Look what she say. It's night 213. She been going out all the time. Can you be with a woman like this? No. She don't like to be at home. You met her at the club. Do you believe she gonna stop going to the club? No. 213 nights in a row. Look.
And I'm leaving the club all alone. No sex.
No sex. The first thing that these Western women think of is I'm leaving a club alone. Can you imagine meeting this woman at a club, have sex with her, and trying to take her serious? And she's back at the club again? Or she's ready to break it off with you because, you met her at the club. You probably was a simp. You started off buying her drinks. You started going out your way to, take her home. No, you know what I mean? You just started doing all these things to show her that you're making an effort to get with her, but she's not making any effort. If you tell her to dress modestly, right? She went out by herself. Look how she's dressed. If you told her to cover up and put some clothes on, she'll say, well, when you met me, you didn't have a problem with it. And then you say, okay, well, yeah, that was when I met you, but now if you're calling yourself being my woman, then I'm going to need you to do this. And you start demanding that she dress more modest. Watch how her sisterhood is going to say, oh, he's controlling. Because you can't have a man that's trying to enforce his structure with a woman that still thinks she's independent and sexually liberated, right? See that? So the values don't go together. The values of America and the values of a good man don't mix. And that's why you have good men that had children by unlawful women, and the unlawful women are saying the same thing. He didn't want to have nothing to do with you. He left. He a deadbeat. He don't help me. He don't do none of this. Hey, men, do not help these women be single mothers. Stop supporting these women and their ideas and supporting the lifestyles that they decide to live. I'm not dating none of these women. You don't want to be courted, then, hey, you're for the streets, okay? And she's for the streets. Listen to her.
No man bugging my phone. No one asking, why aren't you home yet?
See if some more women.
And she's late. It's late as hell. She's out there walking the streets late than a mug. Talking about where are the men at? Look, man, if it was a pervert in the club or if it was a simp in the club trying to pay her rent or trying to buy her bottles and trying to use his money and he's leading with his finances, she'll be all over that guy. And then a lot of times these women have met men before and they're still in the club and they've met men before and they've went home with men, had sex, you know what I mean? And they're back in the club, man. So they're lifestyles. The Western culture is based on lifestyles. Finances, lifestyles. They don't be owning nothing. All they do is spend their finances and go back to work for more finances. That's all they do. You're not going to build no legacies with these Western women because of their values, okay, and their attitudes, okay, and their sexisms, okay. and all their rhetoric about being victims and shit, and how marriage is demonized. They're calling marriage for a woman slavery. So again, no traditional women, and men stop being traditional to these women that are not traditional women. What do I look like being traditional to a woman that's not traditional? She thinks she's sexually liberated, and then she's going to try to put me on child support, and then she's going to call herself being a part of the 81% of divorces that women file. Like, come on, man. Marriage doesn't benefit men, bro. Okay, it doesn't benefit a man to be married, man. Not in the West, man. Okay? Hold off on that marriage stuff. Hold off on that being a husband. Hold off on having sex until you meet a woman that's ready to match your values. Okay? Let me hurry up.
Would appreciate and celebrate the men that they are actually attracted to, they will have a great time too. I mean, how many times do I have to hear, especially from good-looking men, that they really having a hard time because women low-key are haters. They don't want to congratulate a man for looking good, because then these women know exactly they would have to put in some work competing for that man with other women.
See, and that's another thing. Monogamy is trash in the West because the Western woman refuses to compete for a so-called black man or a Latino Native American man, right? They don't want to compete. So I noticed that they'll say, oh, if a man has another woman, I'm gonna break it off. And then they always say, well, he cheated. Well, hey, man, men didn't have this problem before slavery, before the idea of monogamy was introduced to the women. Women didn't have a problem with men having multiple women. And I'm gonna continue to have multiple women. I don't know about men who demonize a man having multiple wives, but you sound like these Western women, and you sound like a feminist. Okay, but my thing is, and women can have multiple men, but they demonize a man having multiple wives. Okay, so this is the hypocrisy of the Western men and women who identify with Western culture. And it's all trash, okay? I'm not happy with Western women, but I do see that these Western women are, they don't like to compete, right? They don't like to compete, but they'll compete for the six-figure man, right? They can have a show called The Bachelor, and it'll be multiple women on there trying to compete for him. See, women don't want to compete for the so-called black man because they have a history of hating so-called black male leadership, okay? The only time they like a man in leadership positions is if he is a simp and he's pandering to women with his income. That's it. But if a man is like a leader and he's wealthy or he's established financially, but he does not, he's not frivolous with his income, and he's not just giving it away to a woman because she wants him to admire her and to give her some type of allowance or some type of transactional relationship, then yeah, they don't like that man that's being responsible and managing his money. They don't like that dude, okay? So again, the Western woman, she's your enemy. She's the enemy. She's one of your greatest enemies because she really despises so-called black male leadership, okay? And they refuse to compete. So, okay, you don't want to compete for marriage with a so-called black man, but you will compete for that six-figure man, right? One man shows up to a singles mixer, and all the women are sitting up in their seat trying to get his attention because all the women want the same man. So y'all will compete for this man if it's based on transaction. If a man is ready to be transactional with you, you'll compete for that man. But you don't want to compete for a man that is on your level. If you're average as a woman, then you don't want to compete for an average man. See, so I call bullshit. But again, let me let this finish because I'm gonna end this shortly.
But since these women don't want to compete for no man, they rather stick to an ugly guy, or they just stick to themselves, loving themselves so much that they don't have no room to congratulate a good-looking man, a well-established man, as somebody that's actually going to be good to them. They don't want that. They want somebody to chase them. They want somebody who puts them on the pedestal. They don't want to.
They want somebody that's going to play their game. Men mature faster than women. Boys don't mature faster than women, but men do. Okay? I've came across women and I've said that, and they've disagreed, and I said that's because y'all are dealing with boys. Men mature faster than women. Boys don't. Okay? Boys don't. Okay? Boys are going to look at women and let women manipulate them and say, well, do you love your mother? What is your relationship like with your mother? That's none of your fucking business, woman, because I'm not going to treat you like my mama. Okay? Women are only they use those victim arguments. Well, what if you had a daughter, and what would you say to her? And just because we disagree with your views, woman, don't mean that my daughter is going to turn out like you. Okay? And I'm not going to treat my daughter like you. Okay? A lot of these women play them games. Well, my dad took care of me, so they're looking for father figures. I'm not trying to be a woman's daddy. And I don't want a woman that's trying to act like she's my daughter or acting like she's my child. I'm not taking care of no woman. Okay? If you're my wife, then we are going to discuss the duties, and we're going to contribute to this relationship. Her income is going to be used as well as mine. I'm not trying to pay the cost to be the boss. I could be the boss of my own life. Okay, but if a woman is not going to come along and get in her place, because I have natural leadership over women, and women have natural leadership over children, but women don't know how to be naturally submissive. When I'm a natural leader, then yeah, you got to know your place as a woman. So again, Western women need to learn their place and get back in it. Stop trying to compass a man, and stop trying to rule over men, and stop trying to be a leader, because you're not a leader. Women are not leaders, okay?
Too much for a man. But I'm telling you, and I'm not really saying this to make anyone in America look bad, but there are women in other countries, from other continents, who treat them like kings. And of course, these parties wouldn't be what they are if you wouldn't have women approaching these American men. And I already know you may think, wait a minute, it is not ladylike if a woman approaches a man at the club at that. But you're gonna have to understand, you don't think like a woman who's into American men. It's like this, very easy and simple. You have a group of women, let's say 60 women, and then you have a group of American men, 30 of them in one establishment. These women, they all want those guys, meaning they're gonna have to hurry up. They're gonna have to compete. They're gonna have to rush, because if...
And that's the thing. The women outnumber the men, and you would think these women wouldn't play the same game that the hoes play, or that the women that are afraid to live up to what's required of them by the Most High. Whatever these men are saying is required, whatever these good men are saying is the requirement, you women just need to get on board with it. Get off this train of trying to shame a man into being submissive to you. That's not gonna work. Y'all women are gonna constantly run into this brick wall fast and hard. Y'all are going nowhere fast, thinking that this game, y'all rather play a game with men than to compete with amongst other women to be with a man. That is insane. Why not do what's required to keep this good man, or to even initiate being with a good man by doing what's required? Instead, you rather play the game that females decided to play with men. So you rather play the game with the women that you should be competing against. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I say, let's help keep women single because they want to be single. So yeah, they're not desirable over here. Keep them single. Agree with them. Say, yeah, I believe you should be a single mother. I believe you can do it. You can do it. And you know what? You better be doing it. And if you need help, guess what? Call Jesus. Call another single mother. Click on the website that women created to help and support other women. Call your church. Talk to your preachers. Call Ricky Smiley. Call his radio show. Call Steve Harvey. He's a simp. Call him. Call Kamala. I mean, she just showed y'all that she was your dog in the race. Call her. Call your mothers. It's like you call them when you're pulled over in traffic stops or you're caught stealing from the stores because you're the highest educated and the lowest paying group of women. Come on. Call some of this support. The men are not your support. The simps are. Why not call them? Keep a simp in your back pocket in case of emergencies. Okay? I want to keep y'all single because y'all keep yourselves single. So stop looking to men who already told y'all what the requirements are. Leave us alone with our pick-me's and females, and y'all just marry each other. Go get artificially inseminations. Go do what DeBrat did. Marry those women who want to be men. Because those women will love to subject themselves to your leadership, right? You can manipulate them, you know. They agree with you, so your need to be right will work well with these other women. They agree with all of your guilt trips. And you know what? These women who want to be men, they actually do better jobs at being simps because they like to pay the bill when the check comes at the restaurants. They like to play stepdaddies. Ooh, right? That's a bonus, right? They know that you want to be the boss. They're going to let you tell them what to do, boss them around, you know? So you could be the boss like you imagine yourself as the boss, right? Your delusion will actually have a reality, all right? It will have a chance to manifest. That's the only way I see it working. I will say marry outside your race, but nobody wants to marry you women, but other women. So go marry the homosexuals that you ushered in. Go marry some of those Frankensteins that you ushered in and, you know, some of those Transformers that you ushered in. Go marry them because y'all are sexually liberated. Y'all like having sex with men and women, right? So that's what I'd rather do. I'd rather see these women with each other or with somebody who agrees with them. You guys have lost the gender war with the good men. The good men are smarter than you. The good men matured faster than you women. And the good men have not given up on their stance as being, you know, men. Okay? Men are first. Okay? And I'm glad I'm first. Women will never be first. Okay? And I think that's why they ran over there to the children of Satan and joined hand in hand with the rainbow community and the, you know, different races that are the melting pot of white supremacy. I'm glad the women finally showed their playbook. I always knew that so-called black women were supporters of white supremacy. Y'all can't talk about racism when y'all are just as racist as the white supremacists. Y'all hate black men too. Y'all hate so-called black men just as much as racists. So y'all can't really be. How do y'all communities? How do y'all communities? How do y'all expect y'all black so-called black female communities to stay safe when y'all hate so-called black men just as much as racists, and then y'all children are being discovered hanging from ropes because white supremacists have killed your children? How do y'all talk against white supremacy and try to talk against the killing of so-called black children by white supremacists when y'all hate so-called black male leadership just as much as white supremacists do? So y'all end game is going to be a great destruction. The fall of the so-called black woman is going to be great. This fall of the so-called white race is going to be great. And I know this has been a long video, but I had to put this together just so I can address the different groups that have something negative to say about the so-called black man. Okay, and I think it starts with, of course, white supremacy giving so-called black women a voice and a place to voice their negative thoughts and their hatred and their misandry. But I thought it was powerful to see the alliance of all of the enemies of so-called black men. We have white supremacy, and then we have so-called black women, and we have the agencies, right, and the courts and things like that that hate black men. So black men, we have enemies. All of our enemies have joined together in confederacy, and they have tried to figure out a way to dismantle the so-called black man and from his leadership. And they think that all of us are trying to uplift our enemies. The so-called black woman thinks the so-called black man is stupider than her. They don't think we're smarter than them. They think we're stupider than them. Right? No, black women. Y'all have us beat. Okay, y'all are the strongest soldiers in the so-called white man's army. We do not join hand in hand with our enemies, no. And you are the enemy of the state, okay? And you've shown your hand. And there's no coming back from that. This is why it's gonna be a beautiful day. That's why I say, nah, you so-called black men. Leave these Western women alone. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities. All right?
Doesn't somebody else is going to, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, that's why we are all there for. It's for those guys and to have a great time. And you may wonder why there are no other female content creators talking about this topic, because I think I'm the first one, and I don't have no problem with talking about the things the way they are. Watch this clip. Again, I have to talk over the video because of copyright issues, but you see things the way they are. They walk up to these men because they like what they see. They don't waste no time, and there it goes like, hey, notice me. But what I don't agree with is the fact that she's wearing a shirt or a skirt with her boobs out and then she covers them. Girl, if you're wearing it, just show it. Whatever, that's what they're there for. See, they don't have a problem with approaching these.
See, the so-called white race, they want to touch the brothers. They want to approach the brothers. They're not playing games with the brothers. The brothers have a real opportunity, right, presented to them. Now, I'm not encouraging race mixing or promoting marrying outside your race, but it goes to show you that you can't go off complexion either. Some of these so-called white-looking women could actually be so-called black, so-called Latino, so-called Native American. You never know. But it's a beautiful thing to see these brothers go somewhere else and totally abandon this trashy ass culture over here that are upheld by these trashy ass Western women that are part of this trashy ass value system, this lost value system over here. The men better wise up. Save yourselves from these Western women. We know white supremacy is in rulership, but some of the white supremacy is going to be destroyed when it gets destroyed. But in the meantime, the first line of the first threat, that men are born into is the so-called black mother. She's the real threat. Okay, she's trying to be a bigger threat than white supremacy. Okay, because I don't fear going outside my house and a so-called white man is going to, kidnap me or kill me or do anything like that. I'm staying away from a so-called black woman. Okay, she is the trendsetter for demonizing so-called black men and always supporting. She's always in support of demonizing the black man and being married in a marriage to the so-called black man. Okay, so let's keep this going.
Guys being all up in their faces, laughing and giggling. They're just showing them, hey, look, what's good? What's up? My name is such and such. What are you up to tonight? What's going on? And of course, not everybody is going to like to be approached just like this guy. He's not too enthusiastic. Maybe because she's a busted Pillsbury biscuit can. I'm not quite sure, but not everybody's going to like it, obviously. But overall, this is what you would see happening at those clubs. So these women will do everything and anything to get these guys' attention. They don't care. No shame in their game. And that's what you'll get when you come to Germany, I promise.
See, the Western woman, she don't know how to do nothing without without thinking it's about sex all the time. So she don't know nothing. She don't know nothing above her lowest chakra. She's always thinking with her stomach and thinking with her vagina. So she's always thinking in her lowest estate, her lowest chakra, right? And she's constantly calling men providers and protectors. We're more than that. I'm so sick of the provider and protector narrative. I'm so sick of that. I'm not doing no providing and no protecting to no black women because that's all they talk about. They don't talk about going to get no degrees and how they're going to use their six figures to better their marriage with their husband. They don't talk about none of this shit. All of this stuff seems to not compute to this Western woman. All of a sudden, she's the biggest idiot when it comes down to wealth, generational wealth, structure, how we're going to get there, what's the plan. You never get there with the so-called black woman. If you want wealth, you're not going to get it with a so-called Western black woman. You men have to get away from these women and get wealth on your own and protect it from these women. Okay? You're going to have to protect it from the women, okay? They're not going to help you get it, but they're definitely going to try to run you through the courts to get it from you. So that's my message to the Western man. Save yourself from this Western woman. She's undesirable, and it's a priceless reason why she's unfit to be a wife and why she's not desired for marriage and having a family by good men. Good men have caught on to their playbook. Look.
But overall, I'm actually...
Okay, so here goes another one. It's the last one. Man arranged to meet someone he met on a dating app. His date then shot him in the head. Okay, so again, this is my last one. If you made it this far, I want to thank you. This man met a woman on a dating app, and this is why men in the West need to avoid the lifestyles of these Western women, the unlawful ones. Avoid the lifestyles that they want to live. This man right here with the dreads, he's the shooter. He's the suspect. He's the one that killed the brother that was on the app trying to meet up with the woman. These Western women, they will set you up to be killed. They will stand by and watch another woman be deleted by a transformer all right, like Shanquel, whatever that woman name is, Shanquel, the woman that got beat up in Mexico, the transformer was right there and witnessed her get beat up and didn't come to her rescue. So they talk about this black girl magic. They talk about black women being victims of domestic violence, but the women are actually a part of the domestic violence. They're more violent against each other than men are against the women. Men have thoughts, but men don't carry out the thoughts as much as these women do. Women feel like they can get away with it, but I don't see a lot of this victimhood coming from the men being the threat. So again, these women are a lot of the times a part of the reason why they themselves end up deleted, or why children end up deleted, or why these men end up deleted, because they're setting men up. The one woman set the man up in the hotel. The group of men came behind these two men that were coming to meet up with these women, and then they got robbed at gunpoint, and the woman recorded it, and she's laughing while she's recording these men and laughing at how scared they were. So again, the Western woman has proved herself to be the enemy of the state. She has a deep-seated hatred for male leadership, male structure. She has a problem with modest apparel. She has a problem with structure and boundaries because she thinks she's liberated, and she thinks she does not have to be held accountable for her role and her role in whether things go good or bad. Okay, so this is interesting how this woman's playbook got exposed this go round. But yeah, the brother was deleted, and this is why men stop sponsoring these dates and these hookups with these women, because all they want to do is get you set up, and you're going to end up deleted. There goes the brother right there. Okay, he got deleted. Okay,
that I'm gonna be
one of these trashy ass Western unlawful women. Okay, and Burkina Faso bans colonial barrister wigs and clothing. Now the West influence with the court systems and their law system, the Africans took it way too serious and ran with it and went way overboard with the wigs and the dress code of the justice. So here goes Diana Ahito. She says, do you believe all Africans and Caribbean nations should ban colonial barrister wigs and break away from colonial symbols and European standards? Well, it's going to take a major falling away and unsubscribing from the Western values and influences, right? The Western culture is highly influential with their media and their social media and their technology and their internet and giving platforms with freedom of speech and all of this kind of stuff. So I don't blame the internet or the platforms or white supremacy. I blame the person, not the action. I blame the person. Okay. It says, for the first time in African history, an African president has fully banned colonial-era wigs. For lawyers and judges, President Ibrahim Burkina Faso has also prohibited imported clothing, committing to a vision where all textiles and fashions are produced by the Burkinabe people. Well, good for you, because this woman right here looks like a stupid ass, and she got on this dumbass dress code trying to fit in with colonialism. You were conquered by these people. Now you are conquered mentally, and you are carrying out the future of pretending and carrying out a false image. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all need to do away with this quick. It should have been over with, because y'all look retarded, okay? Now, the playbook. They just showed you the playbook. I want to thank all my subscribers, 105 of you, 145 of my subscribers. I want to thank all of you. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health, and I hope and I wish that you are safe and protecting your loved ones against these agendas that are waged against us behind enemy lines here in America. We just saw the agenda, and we just saw the playbook, and we just saw the players, okay? The elemental P community, the so-called black woman, okay, and the so-called black male simp, feminist, whatever you want to call them, transformer. I don't know what are the groups that are supporting the independence and the sexual liberation and the unaccountability of the so-called black women, okay, who put abortions as the birth control. These females are to be off limits. You men, save yourselves from this Western woman. We already know about white supremacy, but I want to appreciate white supremacy because we need that to backfire on these coons, sellouts, unlawful women, Western women, 304s, okay, superstitions, falsehoods, your religions, your lost value system, your misandry, your hate for being feminine and friendly and cooperative and obedient and wives, okay, and you're talking down on polygyny, but you uplift sexual liberation. That doesn't make sense. You want to have multiple sexual partners, multiple children by multiple men, but you demonize a man that promotes multiple wives and structure and provision and all of this good stuff. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm probably going to do a part 2 on this, but I think I've laid it out and it's went on long enough. On to the next one. Shalom to all my subscribers. I want to say Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to thank all of my subscribers again, and on to the next one. This has been a beak.